We all learn about gravity in school. It's pretty simple, right? It keeps us on the ground, it keeps the planets in orbit. It's supposed to be this constant, predictable, unbreakable rule. But what if I told you there are places on Earth where that law just breaks? Places where gravity doesn't act the way it's supposed to at all? I want you to imagine a place where the normal rules of physics just seem to disappear, where your own senses start to lie to you, and the very ground you're standing on feels like it's warping reality. Now, this isn't science fiction. We're about to explore a phenomenon that is very, very real. Okay, picture this. You take a bottle of water, you pour it out onto the ground. But instead of flowing downhill like it always does, the water just stops. And then it starts to trickle uphill. What would you even think? Or how about this? You're just standing there, perfectly still, and you feel this invisible force pulling you sideways. It's this weird, disorienting tug, almost like the whole world just tilted right under your feet. It sounds completely impossible. But this isn't some hypothetical question. These places where the fundamental rules of physics just seem to bend, they're real. They exist all over the planet, and what goes on there continues to totally baffle scientists and anyone who visits. These truly bizarre spots are known as gravity hills. And honestly, they represent one of the most curious natural mysteries on our entire planet. So what exactly is a gravity hill? Well, the official scientific explanation is that it's an optical illusion. It's a trick. The way the land is laid out, the angle of the trees, the slope of the hills around you, and a horizon line that's either blocked or just plain confusing, it all works together to fool your brain. Without a clear reference for what's level, your mind gets it wrong. What you see as uphill is actually a slight downhill slope. The most famous thing people do is put their car in neutral and then just watch as it seems to roll uphill, completely on its own. It's wild. But it goes beyond that. Visitors often say they feel physically strange, a sense of dizziness or feeling off balance, like their eyes and their inner ear are getting two totally different signals. Your senses are basically having a fight with each other. So, is that the whole story then? Just a clever trick of the eye? For a lot of scientists, yeah, that's the accepted answer. But the more you dig into it, the more complicated things get. Believe me, this debate is far from over. And this is really the heart of it. On one hand, you have the illusion theory, which says it's all in our heads. Our brains are just making a mistake because of the weird landscape. Simple physics, just confusing. But then you have all these consistent reports of unexplained physical feelings. People feel pressure, they get dizzy, they feel this strange energy. Can a simple optical illusion really explain all of that? And this is where we kind of step out of the world of simple optical science and into, well, something else. If it's not just an illusion, could there be some unseen force at play here? Something we can't see, but that's causing these really strange effects? I mean, listen to how one visitor described their experience. Quote, "A sudden feeling of pressure, as if the environment itself is affecting your body." That doesn't really sound like just visual confusion, does it? It sounds like some kind of direct physical thing is happening. So this leaves us with a few different possibilities. The simplest answer, it's an optical illusion. But a step deeper is this theory about a magnetic or gravitational anomaly. Basically, the idea is that there's a pocket of really dense minerals under the ground that creates a stronger local pull than everything around it. Maybe strong enough to affect a car, and maybe even the tiny electrical signals in our bodies. And then there's the most fascinating possibility of all, that we're dealing with something completely new, something our current science just can't explain yet. And this is where a small, weird spot on a map forces us to ask some really, really big questions. If our most fundamental understanding of a force like gravity can be challenged, even in these little isolated places, it makes you wonder, what else are we just taking for granted? Think about it. Our entire picture of the universe is built on these physical laws that we just assume are constant everywhere. But if a law as basic as gravity can have local exceptions, well, that opens up this fascinating and honestly kind of unnerving idea that reality itself might be a lot more flexible than we ever thought. So we circle right back to the main question. Is this whole thing just a clever trick of our perception? A simple bug in how our brains process the world around us? Or is there something more? Something hidden deep in the Earth, a magnetic anomaly, maybe even some kind of localized warp in reality itself, a genuine peek into the stranger side of our universe.
Maybe the real mystery of gravity hills isn't about finding one definitive answer. Maybe their true purpose is to remind us that our world is still absolutely full of secrets, and that the laws of physics might not be as rock solid as we've always been told.